recording now because every moment could be
Every
gold.
moment counts. Yes, it's true.
Really does.
What is your background right now, even?
It's that stupid like vapor wave 80s thing.
I feel like
I
I've
just
seen that on the cover of like uh, a Beck album or something.
yeah, I just watched a bunch of wisecrack videos on YouTube, so I'm like ready to go for this here.
Because that's the key is like having watched a bunch of wisecrack videos because that's
Well,
what's
that's the sort of thing between that Joe Rogan like
no. We don't refer to Joe Rogan. We refer to him as he who shall not be
JR.
Jr. Or we can who shot Jr. You know?
Who shot JR?
Yeah, this is
So
an
so
80s
Dallas.
yes. This is an 80s podcast based on your background, and we're talking about who shot JR today.
Yeah, of course. Hello, folks, and welcome to the first episode of No Small Parts, the unofficial Cameo podcast. I'm Nick Riebesehl.
And I'm Taylor Kissin. How are we all doing today, folks? I don't know why
We're doing pretty okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm talking to them like it's a live radio show. I'm just
For all intents and purposes, it could be. We just, we don't have any. There's just because we don't know anyone's watching doesn't mean anyone's not watching.
very true.
Odds are, if you're watching this, you know exactly what Cameo is by now. But if you don't, it's this great service that celebrities have taken advantage of during COVID to make an extra buck. That it's been around for a while, but it's definitely helped people send messages to their loved ones far away from B-list celebrities in the following categories: actors, athletes, comedians, creators, gamers, models, musicians, reality TV, and more.
I mean, the uptick is crazy because there's just been like you could go back like just a few months ago, like on Wayback Machine, and you could just see that there's only like what 15, 20 pages. Now there's like 120 pages worth of these celebrities.
I swear to God, it's COVID. Like everyone's stuck inside, celebrities and consumers alike.
It was TikTok and Cameo or
Yeah.
one of these similar apps, and it's just like they're all joining this.
And we've been using it like habitually for almost 5 years now. We got in on the ground floor, man.
That's true. Well, you got it on the ground floor because I haven't yet to send you one. Actually, I found this.
I started using Cameo when Vine was still around. Now that's like forever in internet years.
That's true. That's like ages ago. Oh my God, Vine.
Back when people kind of knew who. No, see, I can't even think of someone who you might know from Vine that I could say their name and you'd still know them. Oh, no, okay, Jason Nash. There's one. Whatever happened to Jason Nash? He's not on here. Actually, is he? I gotta look now.
Now we have to look him up. But like you got the what's his
Nash.
name?
Yep, he is. Vlog Squad comedian. $200. Average rating 4.6 with 67 ratings.
Well, that's a thing, folks, that we're going to really get into here is that a lot of these. So basically, it seems like these celebrities actually set their own worths on this channel, and some of them are doing it for great causes. Like some of them are actually doing it for charity or like a charity that they're involved with, which is amazing. That being said, some of these folks are charging upwards of like a couple $100 just to chat with them, and it's there's a line, and it's debatable. Like Kevin McDonald, right?
It's an interesting model. It's an interesting model that and there's obviously demand for it. People are going to try taking advantage of. There's a few things I've discovered also buried in the deep data dive that I did of all the users' talent, if you will, available on Cameo. They actually have surcharges for using the iOS app.
Really?
Yeah, but what it's listed here, we just, I pulled up Jason Nash. It's, I don't know if this is real data or if it's just like hidden and they're not using it on the site yet, but he costs $200 for a Cameo, but there's something under here called iOS price, which is $209.99. So there's a $10 surcharge on some of these people, or anywhere from 99 cents to a $10 surcharge on some of these people.
That's interesting. I hope we're not like gonna be sued by releasing this information.
Well, I'm gonna have to download the iOS app and find out if that's a real thing.
Well, have you not downloaded the iOS app before? Or have you always used
No,
the?
I've always used the computer.
That's
I
really.
hate using my phone for browsing the web unless it's a blog listicle I can just like, endlessly scroll through.
I suppose that's fair. That is fair.
Very fair, very fair.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, we've been using Cameo for a while, but it became really, 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 really popular this year because everyone's stuck inside, and the market's ripe for a Cameo podcast.
Exactly. I mean, it's the one thing that neither of us saw out there, and it's like, why is there nothing out here? If this is such a big trend, then why aren't people talking about it more? It's
We've been
important.
on this bandwagon for quite some time, so now we need to take advantage of it ourselves, just short of being on Cameo. But who knows? Maybe,
One day. One day.
could happen.
One day. Look at some of the most expensive ones right now. Like Lindsay Lohan.
What? Pick a category.
Pick a category.
Actors, athletes, comedians, creators,
Broadway.
gamers, models.
Broadway.
What?
Broadway.
Broadway?
Yes.
Is that's not one of the categories I just listed. Oh, like their whole website is sorted by those categories, so I can't look at all of them at once, unfortunately.
Fine, fine. Give me something from.
We'll fix that for later episodes.
Yeah, later episodes. We'll get it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Oh, my Bluetooth headset just fell off.
No.
Bloopers.
Should we talk about our experience with Cameo?
Yeah, I mean, we've alluded to the fact that we've used it. Yeah. What? So the whole way it started. Now, it's quite a story, folks. So I don't know if you remember this or you're familiar with it at all. For those of you that don't know, but Taylor and I went to school together. We went to college back in the day at
public school, if you will.
No. We went to art school, basically summer camp, and this is a product of that.
It really is.
Pour one out for Lee Pelton's career, but
no, pour one out for puppet of Lee Pelton. That's the one you really.
Lee Felton for next president.
Yes.
I'll take it. So anyway, Taylor and I met at Squallage, and he was a transfer, and he came here, and he was all cool and fun and awesome. So we decided to make a web series that was very not good.
Bad is like, it was bad.
You have to use more words than bad to say it was bad. Like it was unspeakably, uncontrollably bad, except for the first week it existed where everyone thought it was great.
I mean, like we just blew up. We should have our own true Hollywood story. I think we actually wrote an episode where we're going to do our own true Hollywood story.
I've got an entire graphic open. Oh no, an entire cold open, an entire graphic open, and like the outline of a first segment ready to go in the can. When just saying,
it's ready.
If no, the first 3 minutes of it are ready.
Well,
we need the rest of it.
Yeah, we want to hit that algorithm for YouTube so that we earn some money.
but first we have to earn some money doing this somehow.
Yes,
talking about Cameo. Everyone else seems to be earning from it. Anyway, so Taylor and I went to school together. We had a terrible web series that started on March 28th, 2014, was when the first episode was published to YouTube. And every year on March 28th since then, I've ordered... No. Every 4 years later, I ordered the first Cameo on Cameo to celebrate our friend-iversary. And I did it every year since on March 28th. And I did one this year for Taylor's birthday because I was feeling extra generous.
It's the fun. It's like, honestly, like since we decided to do this, I realized that I haven't actually sent him one for our friend-iversary, and so now I feel like it's my turn to do it next. So I'm gonna have to.
Well, okay, so our friend-iversary is like the month before my birthday, so you could like pick either or. If you weren't set on doing one for March, you could do one for April.
That's fair. That's very fair. But
yeah, so I sent Taylor I've been sending him cameos every year to celebrate and commemorate our friendship and the fact that it exists and that we bonded over a web series and working at work at art school.
at art
Art
school.
school.
Yes, and every year they bring me more and more joy because of how obscure the celebrities, quote unquote, he chooses, because they
Well,
all have some kind of weird connection to either our web series or they have some kind of weird connection just to stuff we've talked about in the past.
yeah, I know. We have the same inside jokes that we talk about over and over again, like I'm sure every other millennial friend group does. And I think actually the first one that I got was Tay Zonde, you know, the chocolate rain guy. He like that's still a name from you know the tens that you remember, kind of, sort of, not really. Anyway, I don't know if you remember. It was you know months before that you were working on some sort of like shoot with him.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
And that's why I picked Tay Zonde for the first one.
Yeah, it was so funny because like I worked at a YouTube channel like right out of college, right? And it was like this YouTube channel brought in other YouTubers or content creators to kind of be the special guest in their sketches and whatnot. And so in one of our particular episodes, I actually had to do a voiceover recording session with Tezonde. And it was pretty delightful, you know, nice guy, very he was awkward, but like as most and all YouTubers are, but it was just
Bloop bloop.
very bloop bloop exactly. And it was just a very it bloop bloop.
Captain Caveman, right?
Yeah,
Bloop bloop.
bloop bloop. But yeah, it was just one of those things where it was it was cool, you know. It was cool to kind of like because I knew Chocolate Rain obviously, and I knew all that stuff, so it was just one of those cool like ooh wow moments. I'm not an ogler of celebrities unless they're voiceover artists. So
No, we both work in, you know, big time Hollywood productions, or, you know, at least have over the years. So we're, you know, we don't, you know, get all hyped out about, you know, seeing celebrities, but it's just nice, you know. I don't even remember how I heard of Cameo, but the site was there, and then back at, you know, in the day it was just getting started, there were people, you know, mostly YouTube people like Tay Zonde who were on there. So I thought, hey, I remember Taylor said something about this guy who was famous in a YouTube video like 10 years ago. I think it might be funny to commemorate our friendship if I send him a video from this guy.
how much did the first one, if you don't mind me asking, how much did the first one cost?
Let me see if I can find it in my email from 6 years
I'm
ago.
just so curious because like obviously like now the prices are just right there for you and you can see all these prices. And this is going to be folks, this is going to be a big part of the show because like again, like I am absolutely flabbergasted at how much some of these people charge for. And I'm flabbergasted in both respects. Like some of these people are charging much less than I believe they're worth, and some people are charging much, 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 much more than they're actually worth. So
I don't have the price, but I know the price of Tay, or at least two of the people I've gotten cameos from, their price has gone up by at least $10 since I got them. So you know that's there's something to be said for that. But you're right. But you know part of this, the way the show is going to be, is that we're going to track prices and number of ratings and ratings. You know the value rating of these you know talent over time. So we'll
it's
find the
good.
best deals for you to send your friends obscure messages. And oh, okay. So part of this, you know, I don't think we mentioned it earlier, was that when you're requesting one of these Cameo messages, you actually get 250 characters worth of space to describe the message you want to send.
That's an important note.
Right, right. It's not just like, hey, you click on this person and give them your credit card and they send you greetings to your friend. It's like it's specific to, you know, someone's having a birthday or something. Like when I sent this, oh, okay, okay, I found it. Requests on, you know, or in February 2018. I got Tay Zonde, a really good message from Tay Zonde was $15. How
15.
much is it now?
Oh my god, now I gotta know.
Now Tay Zonde's up to 40. So
That's so
I get
funny.
I get on the ground floor there. But so yeah, my two friends Taylor and Frank, and we're not going to go into why I wrote that because I have no idea why I wrote that. My let's just say my friend Taylor and I met in college 4 years ago. We're celebrating our fourth anniversary. Fourth no, see, fourth friend anniversary soon. We are friends who like to make short and hopefully funny YouTube videos. We end all our videos by shouting "public school," and from that they had to come up with a compelling greeting to
Something.
Cameo thing.
Oh my gosh, Taylor, Frank, and Nick, congratulations on your 4-year friend anniversary. I'm going to be honest. I hear you've been making some YouTube videos. I don't know if your YouTube videos are funny, but I'll be with you. I hope you've been making some funny YouTube videos and have a fantastic, amazing 2018 where all of your best dreams and best wishes come true. I'm supposed to end this with public school. Is that funny? Did I do it right? Keep on keeping on.
Amongst like their persona usually, which will lead us
Right.
back to the other cameos that you've sent to me in the past. So let's see, who are the others? So we have David Herman, who
Yep.
most notably
Michael
is
Bolton.
Michael Bolton from Office Space, and
And
Mr. Frond
Scruffy from
Breakfast.
Futurama.
And
Wait, he's Mr. Frond?
He's Mr. Frond, yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow! I hear Paul F. Tompkins is like 100 characters, by watching Bob's Burgers. I don't get that at all. That's great. I respect
Right?
David
Respect.
Herman.
Yeah. And yeah, he's played parts all over the world. He was on Mad TV.
Oh, you know what? Now I get it because it's like Roberta from Futurama, that high pitch. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. TIL.
TIL.
Yeah. So David Herman, Phil Lamar, which was in between Tay and David Herman, another Mad TV Futurama voice actor guy that we all just love, and Samurai Jack and Green Lantern and Static Shock. Yeah.
And then finally Billy West this year. That was a big one.
Yeah. Kind of underwhelming. Got to be honest. I mean,
well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about. We've done 4 cameos so far. How would you rank them in terms of, I don't know, quality of service of what you've provided them for the 250 characters, like their ability and their friendliness and stuff like that? Like, let's hear it. I could tell you how I felt based on receiving, but I want to hear it from you first.
I honestly have to say, the first was probably the best, and in order: Tay, super charismatic; Phil Lamar, very charismatic; David Herman, not so great, but you got quantity over quality because it went on for quite some time; and then Billy West, who just sort of waited to the last minute to fulfill my request and kind of phoned it in. But having watched some interviews of his, yeah, he kind of just does the same thing over and over again. Like most voice actors do, but I don't know, he's just sort of phony.
There's a reason they're voice actors too. You can't expect too much from them. Like, I mean, Phil Lamar and David Herman have both been like on screen as like regular talent, but Billy West is primarily known as a voice actor, so it's not like you should expect him to be super charismatic on screen for just a recording like this. He just wanted to make the funny voices, which he did. So
makes me think I should maybe branch out into the professions of the people that I am selecting. There was kind of a theme there with the voice actors from Futurama after Tay, but after maybe we need other content from other famous people.
oh boy, but like for me, thinking about the order of the 4 that we had, I think I would still put Phil Lamar first, and then Tay, and then David, and then Billy. Like, I think
that's respectable.
I think Phil was just a lot of fun. He did some great voices, like exactly what I wanted. Tay was our first one. He was our first. He popped our cameo cherry, if you will. That's gross. And then David was fun. Like, he did go on for a long time, and he did some funny stuff. Like, it was great. It just wasn't.
And then there was like this weird like left turn he took where you started to be genuine after that. So which was it was wholesome.
It was weird, but it was fun. It's like none of these weren't fun except for maybe Billy West, because Billy West just seemed super forced into it.
And I think you're right. Like all of them performed as well as you'd expect.
Exactly.
For Whether you got your money's worth for that or not, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe they have like an internal thing where it's like if you're on this service and someone pays you, you have to meet like a certain time limit or something. Or maybe there isn't. I don't. I mean, not being on the creator side of things, I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah, I
But I
mean,
hope there is for consumer sake.
it could go, honestly go either way.
All right, first segment. What's our first segment, Taylor?
It's called Nope and Not Worthy. It's where we track the value of Cameo talent and we kind of check out how they're rating, and based on how we know them and how we feel like if they're rating themselves undervaluing based on price or overvaluing themselves. A lot of the time it's going to be overvalue, but there are a few hidden gems, if you will, in there. So it'll be definitely worth checking out.
And to track how those things change over time, because as we've talked, the price of the talent does increase as the service gets more popular. So like it'll be interesting to see how prices fluctuate and ratings fluctuate based on the number of views. So yeah,
it's very true. Now it's exciting because it's like I'm looking right now and I'm seeing like Richard Brake.
You go ahead. I'll because I have the list. You tell me something about them and I'll try and come up with a dollar value and then I'll look it up.
Okay, so Richard Brake. Now that name might not sound like anything, but this guy clearly, based on his image, was the Night King from Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones, obviously one of the biggest shows of the past 10, 12, 30 million years. And he was one of the biggest surprises, and he played the role, and he was just like, yeah, he didn't say anything, but it was still so cool just to see him and his facial recognition, his facial thing, and just like the price that he's actually charging seems a lot less. It seems like he could charge a little bit more. Personal opinion. What do you think?
I'm going to say $75.
Holy moly. That is really close.
All right. So what's Brake? Brake?
Yes.
$80. Wow.
$80.
$4.99 more on iOS. So yeah. If I was on The Price is Right, I'd have won.
You would have won.
So his average rating is 5 out of 5 with 58 ratings. And it only takes him, on average, 15.724 hours to fulfill a request. So that's a good one. A plus Richard Brake.
Yeah, good for you. Here's a funny thing, too, is that they've started on the app, like, having a preview of, like, them talking to you, which is kind of, like, great to a certain extent, because you can kind of tell, okay, this person might not be a bad person to get a cameo from or just send something from, because you can tell like their charisma based on whatever. It's like it's kind of nice to have that little preview just before you actually go out and do it, I guess.
Yeah, they've had that on the website for a while, and like Gilbert Gottfried is one that I watched that little video for, and I'm like, oh my god, if I had the money, this is the kind of thing I would send a friend of mine.
How much is he again?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know if he's on there anymore, because like celebrities hop off and on, like, I don't know, all sorts of stuff. God, Gilbert Gottfried, 150. Wow, that's underrated. I'd put him higher.
Yeah, I would put him higher too.
But like Snoop Dogg was on here a couple days ago, and he's not anymore. So love is fleeting.
I guess. I mean, you gotta imagine with some of these people, like, even if they're charging way too much, they're still getting so many requests, and then if the requests don't follow through, like, I can't imagine like the stress behind just picking up your phone and stuff like that. But the one that here, like, just for an overrated, underrated of the day. So of those two that we just did, Richard Brake and Gilbert Gottfried, who would be the most underrated of those two? Do you think Brake is more underrated?
Underrated or undervalued?
Undervalued, I guess, is the better
word. I think they're both undervalued, but Gilbert Gottfried is, more brand recognition and not nearly as much as I would think.
Yeah.
Because, full disclosure, I have not seen a single episode of Game of Thrones, so I have no idea what you're talking about. But I know Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a brand recognizable name. He's known as the Aflac Duck. He's known for playing Iago, and he's been around for years and years.
I mean, I think you missed the most important role he had, which was not Oh God, what the hell was that character's name? Stand
Well,
by. No, but it's so iconic.
the swinger teacher and the Saved by the Bell, the Las Vegas wedding special series finale.
No. Even
But that
more,
is most
even
iconic
more
role.
obscure.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I was right. Digit from Cyber Chase.
You're right. You're right. That is, I think mine is a little bit more obscure, but that is his biggest claim to fame, after all.
That's what I know him from him the most. That and his documentary on HBO that I couldn't get through it for the life of me. I mean, it's a good documentary. I just hate documentaries and have no attention span. But yeah, Cyber Chase, because Christopher Lloyd too. You know, the hacker. He's not on Cameo, is he?
I doubt it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Crystalline Lloyd of The Bold and the Beautiful, but no Christopher Lloyd.
That's the same thing, completely.
Basically, totally, yeah.
I mean, they're exactly the same.
Thomas F. Wilson is on Cameo, though, I think. Speaking of another...
You're just going to go down the hole of...
No, never mind, he's not. Who have I seen from Back to the Future on there?
Maybe Crispin Glover? Nope.
No, Goldie Wilson, I think, is who I'm thinking of. Was Back to the Future. Or there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people when you search that, and I don't have thumbnails, I just have numbers.
Gotcha. Well, now that we've kind of gone through this entire spiel, why don't we take a quick break before we go into our next segment?
Yeah, I need to drink some water because my throat gets really dry. So here's a word from a sponsor that probably doesn't exist yet.
Yay, sponsors that don't exist.
Do you have a product or business that would like to sponsor this podcast? Contact us to get your advertisement placed in one of these nifty commercial breaks.
Public school! I have basically no use for them, but I have them just in case.
There you go. And we're back!
And we're back.
And we're back.
Are?
I guess, yeah.
I gotta pull up that. I wasn't sure what was going on there, but I get it now. We need a producer.
Fix it in post, man. This is fixing
Star Trek. Oh, there's a lot of results for Star Trek, more than I thought.
Star Trek. I'll do Star Wars.
Wow. Okay, so Brent Spiner for $250. That's overrated.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think Anthony Rapp for $50 is probably right because he was in Rent too, apparently, according to this. So, I only saw like the first 15 minutes of the movie before my mom had to pick me up and we had to go home from my friend's house.
What about Ahmed Best for $100?
Who?
Ahmed Best is known for many things, but the one role he is known for is the role of Jar Jar Binks. $100.
Okay, $100. Yeah. Okay. So $100. Average rating 4.941 with 86 ratings. That doesn't, that means he's probably got more hits than 86. Be Jar Jar Binks and whatnot. But That's not too shabby. I'd say that's probably reasonable. $100.
I think it's fair. I think it's very fair.
Ed Bigley from Stuff. No, it doesn't say Ed Bigley Jr. So, is real Ed Bigley alive? Yeah, Ed Bigley Sr. died in 1970, so it's probably Ed Bigley.
Ed Bigley Jr. Yes, it's the same Ed Bigley. Yes.
Best in Show. Is he in that? Let's fact check that. There's so many things I haven't seen.
On Arrested Development, he's been on so many different things.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I know him as Stan Sitwell. I just want to make sure. Ed Bigley. Yeah, okay, Ed Bigley. Why is his thing like his profession is actor - best in show? How could you not put like I could think of at least 5 different things, including Arrested Development, for before that. Saying Elsewhere.
You gotta put like the thing they're most prominently known for, and he thinks.
All right, well then it should be Arrested Development. Honestly,
I don't know.
For the demographic of people, yeah, like, but for the demographic of people using this, actually, no, never mind. Old people use Facebook now. That's what this. Never mind. So it should be Saying Elsewhere.
6 of 1.
The whole thing took place in the snow globe in the kids thing. Like the entire show and pretty much every other TV show takes place inside the snow globe.
No, I know, and I've seen the stuff about it.
That's a podcast worth doing. A Tommy Westphal Universe podcast. You know, like I could make this a bulletin board with strings and pieces of paper. That's what this background should be. Cameos, headshots, cameos, and connect the dots. That's no small parts. A Cameo podcast. No small parts. The unofficial Cameo podcast, wherever podcasts are available.
Oh my god! All right, should we go on to our next segment?
What?
Should we go on to our next segment?
Let me get 10 more minutes of vamping. Actually 8. Okay, fine.
8 more minutes of vamping about what?
Searching random people. Like if you were Jason Alexander.
Is Jason Alexander
$1,000, but his response time is like 27 hours. It takes him almost just a day to respond to people. And that's, you know, someone who was part of one of the biggest sitcoms of all time.
How about Bob Saget? You know how much Bob Saget is?
I'm going to say $350.
Oh, that's close. It's $299. But he's got 5.0 rating, it looks like. Or I don't know. Actually, you know the aggregate rating, so I guess I should go to you for that.
4.98 with out of 209 ratings. But he only says 14 hours here if the program I wrote is doing the math properly. All the times are stored in milliseconds, so I had to do, you know, like basic arithmetic to get it to where like I could read in manageable chunks. And I went to art school, so that's not easy, especially since I'm an engineer, or at least I play one on TV.
Well, an engineer's work, I suppose.
Jodie Sweetin, then? Nope, not on there. Candace Cameron Bure.
You're just going to keep going through the rest of the cast of Full House?
I know the Olsen twins aren't on there. There's no Olsens.
Yeah.
What
about Bill Engvall? Remember Bill Engvall?
No. What is he from?
He's one of the blue collar comedy guys. He was like Larry the Cable Guy, Jeff Foxworthy, Ron White, and Bill Engvall.
They don't have Larry the Cable Guy, but they have Larry Thomas, aka the Soup Nazi.
Oh,
how much you think he's worth?
I'm gonna go with $95.
$100.
Ah, so close.
So close enough. And with 1,439 ratings, average rating of 5, average response time 3 hours. I don't think the math is right on that, but again, what has he done since then? It's Seinfeld, Austin Powers. Maybe he needs the work.
The only thing I know him from are other cameos, like actual real cameos, playing the Soup Nazi in other shows. So it's just
he played Saddam Hussein in Arrested Development.
Oh, he did?
Which is funny because they make a joke where he's like, no, that's just the guy that played the soup Nazi when he was trying to talk about the fact that he wasn't building homes in Iraq, and it was actually played by the guy who was the soup Nazi.
This is our last one before we go into our next segment. You ready?
All right.
I'm sure you've looked this one up, or if you haven't, this person is one of the most famous people from the not this past election, but the election before it. Yes. I dressed as this person for Halloween that year because I thought it was
Herman Cain?
Ken Bone.
I keep talking about dead people.
No,
Sorry. Okay.
Ken Bone.
Ken Bone. He's on Cameo? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Looking at him right now. He's got the red sweater and everything, the weird comb over, the bad mustache. God,
he had his 15 minutes and he's on Cameo. That's what it is.
Well, you gotta know. You gotta ask yourself how much you think he's actually charging.
Does it say anything about donations anywhere on that one?
No, he's not.
Okay. $75.
Wow. Good for you, but no, he is charging
that
only
over?
$25.
Yeah, that's more reasonable.
That's much more reasonable.
Bet on greed.
$25 for being famous for literally 2 minutes for just looking like the biggest dweeb on the planet. I feel bad for kind of bullying him, but at this point, like I think that was kind of a softball.
No, what his dweebery was a pivotal moment in American politics.
So true. So true. It changed the tides, indeed. All right, you want to?
I thought you were going to say Hillary Clinton, but whatever. You didn't dress as her.
I did not dress as her,
to my knowledge.
Or Herman Cain, because that would be racist. Do you want to introduce the next segment?
Sure. So our second segment of the show is called "Interview with a Cameo," and that's a working title. Basically, what it is we come up with a premise, a 250 character block of text to send as a cameo request to someone that's unnotable and very inexpensive, and then we play it back next time. So
it's interesting because it's like we're really going to be pushing the limits. We're going to start going into each category because we're talking about all these pretty expensive people, but there are people on this app that are charging only $1 for a cameo. So I think
probably rightfully so. You've never ever heard of them, but
absolutely. But they find themselves worth that $1, and we are going to prove to them that they are worth that $1 by actually signing up and interviewing them. Now, obviously, we're not going to be able to do that in time for each episode, so we're going to prep the interview questions. I'm going to give Nick. We'll alternate. I'm going to give Nick a surprise cameo person in whichever price point we're in at that week, and then we'll go back and forth on that, and we're just going to have to come up with the prompt, and then we'll actually get the cameo and air it the next week. So
right, and in the process of making these things, we have to, because we're picking people that we have never ever heard of before and no one else has ever heard of before, we have to probably do some research to make it convincing. Or maybe these people, like we just write something generic and vague, and they'll do it anyway because they need the money.
All right, so for today's prompt, we decided to go with one of the free Cameo people out there because, believe it or not, there are actually people that are for free on Cameo. Isn't that crazy?
I know, and most of them are just people that work at Cameo, but I guess it's people that are just trying to engage with others and spread some engagement in the world.
Yeah, why not? If you want to test out the app and see how it works, why not test it out on somebody free? And since it's our first episode, let's do it. So Who do we have today, Nick?
What's going to be okay, right. Well, today we've got Lucas, who is listed as Cameo data engineer. He's got a 4.9 rating out of 42 reviews, and it's free to chat or make a request to him.
All right, great. So what is entailed in this prompt?
All right, so let's request here. Who is this for? I'm going to say myself, just because I'm genuinely curious. My name is Nick. My pronoun is he, him, and I'm going to ask him a question. That is the occasion.
All right, this is the big deal here. Is like, what
Right.
are we gonna actually do for our question? Because this is
So I have an idea. I'm going to give Peacock some free advertising and put another nickel in the Kevin S. Bright machine. So of the 6 main characters on Friends, and I'm putting capital F, capital dot, capital R dot,
I was about
capital
to say,
I.
if you
dot,
don't
you know.
remember, if you don't do the dots, then he's not gonna know what you're talking about.
And in quotes, because you can't italicize,
Yeah.
of the 6, nope. Oh, the dots look weird. The typography snob in me just.
Do you want to go back?
No, I can't do it all caps. This is fine. Friends. Of the 6 main characters on Friends, which 3 of them would you take to a dinner party? Take to a non-COVID times dinner party?
Why do you have to say that? You're just using characters.
Because some people, if I were asked this question, I would be pedantic and say, well, because I'm social distancing right now, I wouldn't take anybody to a dinner party. Wear a mask, stay in school. Of the 6 main characters on Friends, which 3 of them would you take to a non-COVID times dinner party? Take to a restaurant in non-COVID times.
What?
And why are they all Phoebe?
So you're basically not even giving them the option. You're just telling him that the answer is already Phoebe for each one of them.
I think based on what the other ones I've seen on here and the reviews of them, I'm just looking for reacts at this point. I think
that's literally what we're trying to do here. So, have you sent it?
It's entertaining. So, of the 6 main characters on Friends, which 3 of them would you all take to a restaurant in non-COVID times, and why are they all Phoebe? Show me David Schwimmer.
Okay,
it didn't work, but
we're on an audio. Bam, bam. Family Feud.
Hey, Richard Karn's on here. All right, hide this video from Lucas's profile. Continue. Book for free. Submit. Okay. Here goes.
Done. Now we got to find out if we actually
the deed is done. Lukas. What is his average response time? 27 hours. All right.
All right.
So time to go lop off my arm with James Franco, and 27 hours later. No, that's 127 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, what are you saying? Why are you
the movie with the guy that got stuck?
Yeah,
27 hours and 27 dresses from now, we should be hearing from him which 3 Friends characters he would take to eat at a restaurant if there was not a global pandemic.
This is very exciting. This will be our first guest, and he will be like, we're gonna roll out the red carpet one day when we interview him as our first guest, like on our 50th episode. We'll be like, hey man, we were excited to talk to you that day about the
Well, I'm very, very glad they have a question button, because typically the only ways I've seen this user for like the pep talks, the will you go to prom with me's, where we are celebrating our friend anniversary with a paper hand puppet, so it's good that you can just randomly engage with a celebrity.
Font to that specific prompt too. I mean,
yeah. Okay. Ooh, is there anyone from Friends on here you could ask? But you can't ask that same question.
No.
Nope. Damn.
If you could take data engineers from Cameo to a non-COVID dinner party, who would you take, and why are they all Lucas? Perfect.
Oh, okay. So for later in the season, or our episodes of this, we do one that's like a kid's algebra problem. like too bad Neil deGrasse Tyson isn't on here. It's like,
oh my God.
You're like, okay, so a train is leaving. Yeah, a train is traveling from Chicago and leaves on an eastbound track, traveling at 50 miles an hour, while a train coming from Albany is going on a westbound track, traveling at 60 miles an hour. At what point and what time zone, taking into account daylight saving time, would the trains meet?
Are you just gonna do an unsolvable algebra problem? And then they're gonna be like, you know what? Screw you.
I could do what is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, but everyone knows that's 42. I mean, come on, man.
True. It's true. All
Is
right.
Martin Freeman on here?
I sincerely doubt Martin Freeman's on there. He's a Marvel celebrity. I don't think he's on there.
Oh, I forgot what the hell's that other guy's name. Damn it. Oh, he's in broadcast news, and he's also in...
William Hurt?
Yeah, William Hurt, thank you. The other Ross in Marvel. I watched broadcast news recently, and I didn't realize that was him. Like,
Really?
Because he's such like a young, clean-shaven, skinny, attractive dipshit in that movie, and in everything else I've seen him in, he's like a middle-aged, like, not trauma-hardened, but like life experience hard ass. So it was interesting to go back and watch that after seeing William Hurt in so many other better things.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, should we take one more break before our final segment?
Yes, let's take one more commercial break from a sponsor that totally actually exists, and round out our first episode of No
Jolt
Small
Cola.
Parts. Who?
Jolt Cola is our sponsor. We totally still exist.
Do you remember Vault, that like Coca-Cola's bad answer to Mountain Dew from 2009? That I thought it was pretty okay, but that was before my brain fully developed. And we'll be right back.
Oh my god.
If your sponsorship lived here, it would be home by now. Contact us to learn how your product or business can sponsor an episode of the No Small Parts podcast.
That doesn't make any sense at all. He's still getting, as Theodore Reginald Life would call it, mailbox money. I mean, I don't... He has no reason to do this, but he is.
And we're back!
All right, final segment into the first episode of the hopefully not last podcast. Taylor, what are we doing to round out this episode here?
Well, I think this will hopefully be like a weekly thing that we do, but it's going to be our favorite public preview cameo that we've seen out there. So it's like, now that we've actually clicked on Cameo and browsed the site, like it appears everywhere. So it's appearing on Facebook, it's appearing on Instagram, stuff like that. So you just get these pop-ups that just happen because that's how the world works now. So what I've been doing is I've been kind of going through and seeing the ones that make me laugh the most or that seem like they'd be the best. You want me to go first? You want me to tell you my public?
So they're videos that are like either like the feature video for that talent or someone that made a request that let their video be posted publicly on that person's page. Just the best one of those we can find each week, each of us.
Absolutely. So
all right, yeah.
This week mine was very special because I found it like maybe a couple hours before we actually recorded the podcast. It's somebody that I was shocked to find out actually was doing Cameo to begin with, but it makes a lot of sense. It's Ghostface Killah.
This is Ghostface Killah, straight from the almighty Wu-Tang Clan. Right now I'm here to provide you your services for any shout outs I need me to do. Happy birthdays, get wells, anniversaries, whatever it is. You want to tell grandma you love her, I'll tell her for you. You know what I mean? So yo, that's it. That's all I'm here for. I love you. Love is love. Yo, everybody be safe. Mask up. Love.
Wow, yeah, that was pretty good. Ghostface Killah, bring the mother bleeping ruckus.
I know, it's pretty solid. If I had that kind of money to throw around at Cameo, I would probably go ahead and get Wu-Tang to just do it for me. So I want to hear
Shimmy,
Ghost-
shimmy,
Yeah.
ODB though. That's like. All right, and mine is Gilbert Gottfried. I'm gonna just pick one of his really good ones, and we're gonna watch it here right now.
Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and you know, if it's Gilbert Gottfried, it's an important announcement. Now, this is to all of the friends of Alex and Marie Faye, and they just wanted to tell you, can't quite make out what the rest of it. They wanted to tell you. They said it was important too. I really feel awful. Now I remember. Alex and Marie Faye are having their first baby. Congratulations, Alex and Marie Faye.
It will be edited.
I will never get over his role in the Saved by the Bell Wedding in Las Vegas episode, where he played like a gentleman's escort teacher for both Zach and Screech. Kids, if you go back and watch that episode, you'll realize why Gilbert Gottfried is so famous today.
Well, they better get him on the new show. They better get him on the new show then.
I mean, if he's not, then it's a travesty.
I saw a clip of him on YouTube, or not a clip of him. It was a sound clip of him on YouTube from Howard Stern, where he was like talking in his regular voice, and I'm not sure that that's actually him, because if he doesn't sound like this if he doesn't sound all nasally like that all the time, I am going to be severely disappointed. But good guy.
When we get to that point, we're going to have to ask him, please talk in your normal voice.
Or it's like when Teller talks when he's on The Big Bang Theory. It doesn't make a shit lick of sense and ruins the illusion for me. I've also never watched The Big Bang Theory officially on record. We're just gonna put that out there.
It's a podcast, so it's definitely on record now.
Oh, great, perfect. No.
Well, that about does it for us here today. I think we got a lot going, and I think we're, starting a real process and seeing where this train takes us.
Yeah, good first episode of this unofficial Cameo podcast, No Small Parts. As the platform, as Cameo becomes more popular, hopefully our podcast will too. So don't forget to like and subscribe and react, and let us know if you have any questions or things you want us to dig into, like some sort of serial thing. So for all of us here
for all of us here at what? For all of us here at Nick's apartment.
Thanks for watching and listening to No Small Parts. We hope to see you next time. And for the record, this microphone isn't connected to anything at all.
No Small Parts is produced by Yo Locomotion Productions. The director is Nick Riebesehl, and the executive producer is Taylor Kissin. This podcast is in no way affiliated with Cameo or Baron App Incorporated. Ownership of all content used herein belongs to its respective copyright holders. Produced December 2020 at Nick's Apartment Studios Limited. Some rights reserved.